Many of us have known you have plenty of people from Central America that has came in a big caravan. Hundreds and hundreds of people stated they're going to come into the United States. They want to be here. They demand us to take them in. And there's a lot of people in this country who say, yes, open up the border, let them all in. They don't discuss how you're going to pay for them, where they're going to live, etc. And most of these people who's talking about just letting everybody in, they're not saying come to my house. They just want them to come in. Now, many people, especially CNN and many of those in the Democratic Party, has put a romance on this and say, well, they're just poor people and they just need help. And that's all it is. And, you know, other people who don't agree with that, you're evil, you're racist, you're all sort of things. Well, just economically, you can't just take people in that's not bringing in certain skills. You just can't do that. They want to just allow people to come in. And I'll talk about, you know, Elijah Cummings, but I want you to see these videos. And, you know, CNN is not running these videos on a loop. They're not promoting that. They've ran it a little bit, but they're not constantly talking about it. Now, watch exactly what happened today. They decided to rush the U.S. border today, the one in San Ysidro out there in California. But watch the footage. Now, in that footage, you didn't see a bunch of women and children. You saw a bunch of young men storming the U.S. border like an army. That's not normal. People have crossed over in the border illegally before, but they never did it like this, which you saw just storming the U.S. border. When you heard Trump calling them an invasion, that's exactly what it looked like today. You know, some things Trump say, you know, you don't want to agree with. And, you know, I don't agree with a lot that Trump do or say. But on this, I have to agree with that. That's storming the U.S. border. You saw them throwing rocks at Border Patrol agents and customs agents. They kept throwing rocks, so they had to fire pepper spray at them and tear gas. That's what they had to do to get them to back off. You saw how they stormed past the Mexico police. And they're like, F your laws, F your systems. You have to let us in. Now, I told you guys before, when we went to Ethiopia, when we got off the plane, we couldn't just walk into Ethiopia. They sent us right to immigration. And we had to deal with immigration. and get our visas and pay for it and do things by Ethiopian law. So even in the continent of Africa, there's laws as well that you can't just do whatever the hell you want in other people's country. Now, yes, the United States has laws about asylum, but what we seen today, no, you can't just storm the border and throw rocks and do everything you want to do because you want to just demand yourself to be in here. Do we really want to let that crowd in that we saw? Do we really want to do that? A bunch of healthy young men storming the border. And then I don't know if you saw the part where they're having their flag while they're running around from their country. I mean, what is that, your battle flag or something, the way you're presenting it? You running, trying to run into America with that particular flag? I mean, that is, come on now. Even if I was the president, I wouldn't allow that. I probably would be real tough on that too. I say, because that's not right. I mean, what about the citizens? And then, you know, us, we always talk about the black community. What about the black communities? Black people in California are already just about out. And then if you let them come in, it's going to be worse. Because look at their attitudes. They're coming in with being violent. And who they want to target first? Because white folks not going to let them in their communities. White folks fixing it where they can't come in. That's why white folks have purposely allowed San Francisco to go off the rails in the area of prices. They pricing San Francisco so high that those immigrants couldn't come over there. That's just kind of how it is. They price you out. That's their version of practicing a separation, right? Doing it based on money. Hey, you can't afford to live here, but these white folks with these tech jobs, they can afford to live there. That's why you have a lot of people leaving California as it is. It don't matter the color. A lot of people are leaving California because of all what's going on. But we saw in this video today, you can't say it's just a right-wing issue. You can't say it's racism. Racism has nothing to do with that. And even at the beginning of Barack Obama's run for president, he said the same thing about being a nation of laws and protecting the border. I mean, he said the exact same thing. He deported more people than anybody else in recent years when he came along. But when it comes to, you know, these people, that's the ones I'm focusing on, because what we saw today, you know, that's not right. There ain't no way you can cut that, and that's right. That looked like an invading army trying to storm the U.S. That's what it looked like. They just didn't have guns. Now imagine if some of them had guns in that crowd. It could have got really ugly. And we have to rethink this and see this Democratic Party, they support that. They support just opening up the borders and letting everybody come in. They support that. And a lot of African Americans don't support that. And when we look on the Democratic platform and we see this big thing that says immigration, and we see nothing on the list for black people, we have a problem with that. Why do you think that some black men especially are voting for Trump, or have voted for Trump, or voting for Republicans? Because black men is starting to vote a little bit more to Republicans. Even so much so that you're having people come out and tell black men, why are you voting for Trump? Why are you voting for the Republicans? Because they're not getting anything out of the Democratic Party at all. I don't know why they're voting for Trump, but they just feel, hey, I'm going to vote another way. Just maybe I'll get some attention. But this what we saw. Now, this is the thing. Imagine if this was a bunch of black men from Guyana, okay? And what if they came from way from Guyana and they say they're going to storm the U.S. border? Now, you know good and well it'd be a problem. Of course, everybody and their mama would hate to see black men storming the border like that. But there's those, you know, that say, oh, let's let them in and X, Y, Z. No, we can't accept that as a country. We badly trying to fix things ourselves in the country. And then even in our particular community, we can't do that. I mean, you're importing everybody in, and then what? And then this isn't your high skilled workers that's coming in. This isn't your doctors. This isn't your lawyers. This isn't, you know, your scientists or people like that. No, these are people that's doing low skilled work. And I understand you need low skilled work. That's fine. But you can't just keep on flooding everybody in like that. And I know that why they went to California, because California has a bunch of sanctuary cities. California has a bunch of sanctuary cities. And my issue with that is there's never been a sanctuary city for black folk. Show me the city that we can go to that we escape racism and escape white supremacy, escape police brutality because this one particular city we're protected. They're protected. We're not. That's one of my issues. California has just opened up the doors, and that's why they're having all these troubles. You're having all these people coming in from their countries, and they're trying to establish things, and they look at black folks as they're standing in their way, and you have all these racial issues going on in California. I mean, but that's the government in California that's allowing that to happen. This is why, and I'll repeat again, why they thought they was going to storm the border over there in California. Now, I know they probably say, yeah, we don't want to go to Texas because they got people with guns down there. They probably got militias, California and their gun laws. So I guess they thought they were going to do that. But that's not normal, what we saw. Who's financing that? Who's paying them to do that? These are questions that we have because all my life I've never seen anything like this. These people just storming the border. I've never seen that, like an army. But we'll keep our eye on this because this is very, very concerning for definitely us in the black community. Because if they do let them in, you know where they're coming. And, also just throughout the country, we need to be concerned about this because if you let them in and they can storm the border and get in, then who's going to stop someone else from doing it? Other people in other countries are like, hey, shoot, hell, let's go and storm the border in the U.S. We'll get in. I mean, you basically letting other countries know that we can invade the U.S. through the southern border, and you don't want that. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story about the migrants invading the U.S. border. Today are attempting to invade the U.S. border. But, we really going to have to talk about this and get this kind of handled because that was very dangerous what you saw today.